here with another video where I share my thoughts and opinions on someone or something going on in this wacky weird wrestling world. As you can tell by the title below, this one will be my thoughts and opinions on if Oba Femi will be successful on WWE's main roster, Raw, SmackDown, PLEs, combination of them. Would love to know what your thoughts and opinions are on it down in the comments below, and what you think Oba Femi's ceiling is down in the comments below. It would be greatly appreciated by yours truly. When it comes to Oba Femi, he's only been wrestling for a couple of years. I want to say 2.5 years, has had less than 100 matches as of this recording, and all of them have been with WWE, if I remember Cage Match correctly. But when it comes to Oba Femi, he is one of those guys, for myself personally, that if WWE somehow, or him, messes it up somehow, some way, I would think like WTF. And again, he's had less than 100 matches and 2.5 years, let's say, of in-ring experience, and he just gets it. He is, I know that him and Tiffany Stratton are different, but Tiffany Stratton, to my knowledge, has no experience in wrestling before WWE. She picked it up like there was no tomorrow. Oba Femi is doing the exact same thing, and the way that he carries himself to the ring, his like little walk to his entrance music, if legitimately any other person in the world did that, and there's like 8 billion people with a B, he's probably the one of only a handful of people can make his walk with his music look cool. He looks like a wrestler, and he's not the best on the microphone, but again, he's a lot better than what I would be, and all of that stuff. Him in the ring, again, if you compare him to 2 or so years ago to him now, night and day, and I mean that in the best way possible. And when it comes to Oba Femi, again, this is barring any like injuries, him leaving for personal reasons kind of deal. Or actually I should say, when he gets called up to the main roster, if he's not world champion within, or at least in serious contention for the world championship within like the 2.5 years, I would be surprised. Let's say he gets called up for, because my brain's different right now, but let's say he gets called up main roster debut January 1, 2026. If he's not world champion or in serious contention for it by WrestleMania 2028, something must be up kind of deal. I'm not saying that he has it, because I am nowhere near qualified to say what it is, but if I had to guess, he has that something that you can't really teach kind of deal. And especially with somebody with no wrestling or no independent wrestling experience pre-WWE. I don't know, I think he's the first name, image, likeness person to be signed by WWE. So he was in college for something. I don't know if that was wrestling related based off his style. I don't think so, but then again, he's a big guy kind of deal. I don't know exactly how tall, but probably like 6'4", 6'6" kind of deal, athletically built enough kind of deal. But he's one of those guys where if I had to pick anybody in NXT/TNA that could be a future, or the most likely to be a future WrestleMania main eventer, it would be Oba Femi, without a shadow of a doubt. And to me, it just does not seem forced. I don't know for sure if this makes sense, but if somebody else had the, let's say, 2-year career in NXT that he's had, it might seem kind of forced. He's, I think, the longest reigning NXT North American champion, and then lost it to Tony D'Angelo within like 2 months, won the NXT championship, and it just seems really natural. But yeah, overall, will he succeed? I personally think so, in my non-wrestling experience reign. Like, I can, again, definitely see him as a future US Intercontinental Champion, eventually moving up to the main, when I say main roster, he would win the world championship. He is, I don't want to say something similar to Gunther, but I can see him having a similar enough career kind of deal. Main roster, immediately wins a mid-card championship, holds it for like a year, give or take, like 10, 14 months kind of deal, 10, 12, 14 months, loses it, eventually wins a world championship kind of deal. But that's just me, somebody who watches NXT and all of that stuff. But yeah, overall, in that sense, I think he will be successful. If you define success as being a tag team guy, not really. Nothing against the Street Profits, but Oba Femi, I would much rather see Oba Femi as a world champion than Montez Ford and or Angelo Dawkins, or both of them combined. And definitely, you need tag team guys on the main roster kind of deal. That's not a knock on Street Profits. But when it comes to Oba Femi, world champion or serious contention within 2.5 years after his debut on the main roster. If not, I would be surprised. But yeah, that's it for this one. Treat yourself as well as possible, mentally, emotionally, and physically, because you deserve the absolute best without a shadow of a doubt.